You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, be the backlash, somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they suddenly leave your skin. Kept on the inside with no sunlight, sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is the exquisite singing voice of our next guest, Luz Madrigal from Theater by the Blind. Hi there, Luz.
Hello.
Thanks for being part of our Feminist Magazine.
Thank you for having me here on the show. I'm so grateful to be a part of this.
Well, we understand that it is your virgin voyage on the airwaves.
Yes.
So we have promised to be very, very kind and gentle.
I appreciate that, yeah.
We want to focus this on your being blind because you, like everybody else, are so much more multidimensional than that. But can we just get this out of the way?
Sure.
As a 20-year-old blind woman, what misperceptions do you think many of us have with sight about blind people? What do you want to have us sort of get with the program and correct?
Well, first off, a lot of people don't know how to react to blindness. When they first see a person, the first instinct is, oh, I want to help them, or, oh, I feel so sorry for them. But really, we're out in the world doing our own thing, and a lot of times when we're out, we know exactly where we're going, exactly what we're doing, and it's such a nice thing when people do actually come up to us and say, excuse me, do you need some help? Because, it's nice to feel supported every once in a while.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and another misconception is that a lot of people think that people who are blind are also mentally disabled. And a lot of times, being in a social situation for the first time as a blind person, it can be pretty awkward because you can't see the person who you're talking to. And a lot of times, you make eye contact to start a conversation, but, between the awkwardness, people think, oh, maybe they don't understand what's going on, so maybe they think that they're a little mental.
Well, I'm sorry that some of us need sort of a course in blindness 101 because there are a lot of mistakes that people are afraid they're going to make, or they're going to say the wrong thing, or
Yes.
they're going to inadvertently offend somebody, like saying something like, see you later, or have you read this, or something. They go, oh!
Yeah, it's actually not that big of a deal. We use a lot of the same words like, yeah, we're going to go watch a movie, or see you later, or you look great.
Yeah. One of the things that I find interesting about the experience you've shared is that you say you've developed a sort of a different kind of vision. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, I remember reading in psychology class when I was in high school that there's so much more areas to the brain than just your eyes. So your body picks up signals from around you that are visual. Even though you can't see them with your physical eyes, you can kind of tell where something is based on the space and the air that surrounds the object. So if something's close to you, you can feel it there. Or sometimes when there's someone that who's going to come see you, you can kind of tell like around the time when they're going to get here. It's just the strangest thing. Sometimes you can just really develop like this extra sixth sense that we all have, but we are not usually aware of because of all the distractions that our visual sense is putting. Yeah.
So do you think your brain in some ways is sort of being more selectively focused and sort of filtering out the extra distractions so that you can really prioritize things? Is that a fair description?
Yeah, I think so. I think so for sure. You really learn how to identify what's really important in your life. You have to think of everything as plan it out in advance, really.
We can all benefit from that experience. One of the things that hadn't occurred to me is that one of the advantages of being a person who's blind is that you're not subjected to some of the body shame and stigma and other stuff that goes along with the judgments that people make for those of us who have sight.
Right. Since I've lost my vision, I've noticed that I don't have to worry about people giving me shameful looks. Like a lot of times if you don't look a certain way, then you are rejected or you're not accepted as normal. And now that that's out of the picture, well, I've learned also to not judge other people but based on appearance. And after a while, you start to realize that what's on the outside doesn't really matter. It's not like we choose which bodies that we get here on Earth. It's not like we choose our economic situation either.
Seeing with your heart, not your eyes.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the theater by the blind, which is very unique. This is your first production with Theater by the Blind. Yes. Theater by the Blind is the only one in the entire United States. I find that hard to believe. Globally, there's a theater in Israel and in Wales, but the one here in the United States that you're a part of is composed entirely of blind actors.
That's right. We're all blind, and it's so amazing to see everyone play the role of a sighted person. There's only one character in our show who's going to play the role of the blind person. And it's very empowering to see that and to be a part of it. We all consider each other being part of a huge family.
Could you describe the storyline? This was written and directed by Lindsay Nyman.
Right.
And what is Sit?
Well, Sit is about a young girl who's 17. She starts to try to become independent. She has an older sister and her dad who try to overprotect her and kind of tell her what she needs for herself. And really, she's at this age where she needs to start doing things for herself on her own. And amongst all of the voices that she hears, she finds her own voice, and she learns how to become independent.
Now, she also has such a controlling father that she ends up running away and becoming homeless, and there's a whole lot of pieces of this storyline, which sounds fabulous, by the way. I understand that it's a one act and runs about an hour, and that there's some original rap music and original beat poetry.
Yes, it's all amazing.
And they sort of bust out with these rap beats in the show, but it is not a musical.
No,
we have been
not.
forewarned that it is not a musical.
I guess you could say it's more like a rapsicle.
The logistics about being blind actors doing this work, like how do you learn your lines and how do you navigate around the stage so you're not pulling at each other or sort of needing direct physical guidance? How do you do that?
Well, it's very interesting, actually. Each person has their own way of adapting the script and learning it. Some of us have it in Braille. Others have audio recorders that our director records the scenes on, and we just listen to it over and over again until we memorize it. Or other people are more technical with the computer and everything, and they just get it by email or they just type it out. And as for the getting around on stage, what we do is we have mats down on the floor so we can kind of feel our way, like going in through the entrances, and we know where center stage is just by feeling up on the mats on the floor of the stage.
So you're feeling the textured surfaces?
Yes, we are. We can feel the different textures, and we learn how to walk, in straight lines, and just rehearse that way. And
you have to really trust each other.
Yes, for sure. We have to trust each other. Like I said, we're like a huge family here, and it's really nice to be a part of it all.
Could you speak for just a moment about the power of theater as transformative? Because we want to know what has transformed you as a part of being Theater by the Blind.
Well, I really like being part of Theater by the Blind because I get to express myself in a way that I might have never been able to express myself. Like, my character can be very strong-willed, almost aggressive. And, it's always fun to play someone who you're not. It's always a challenge. But, you get to explore different parts of who you are as a person. And because you can't always you have to be able to separate your life's problems from your character. And also you can't bring your character into your real life. So you
could, but people end up with divorce and jail.
That's right.
So you really have to know who you are to be able to act.
Exactly. I believe so.
Your theater has a T-shirt slogan. You were going to wear it today, but you didn't, saying, transforming lives one show at a time. I want us all to order those T-shirts and see what we can come up with. What would most surprise your audience? What would they least expect from this production of Sit?
I think what they would least expect is that we're all blind. Our job is to do our roles so well that people don't realize we're blind from the very beginning. And, all of us have been working very, very hard on our lines, and we're getting along pretty well. It's coming out really, really well so far. And it's really to deliver a message about blindness and about the misconceptions, and these things actually happen. And I really feel that these scenes that we have are kind of something taken out of real life. It's sometimes tragedies that we don't really think about because it's such a low incidence disability. But it's really nice to finally express that in a very artistic way like this.
Is there any backlash from other people in the community who are also blind who say, you shouldn't be trying to pass as not blind when you are blind? And what's the point of doing theater while you're passing as a thing that you're not? Have you gotten that kind of feedback, and is there any sort of dialogue happening around that?
Not really. I mean, we're pretty good with, advocating for ourselves and saying this is what we do, and most people take it positively. Most people really like it and think that's amazing, and they're very interested because it's not very common to see an entire group of blind people on stage, acting out scenes. It's really interesting to watch.
Well, it can be a once-in-a-lifetime experience here in Los Angeles. This is the 11th production of Theater by the Blind, and you are a starring part of it.
Amazing. Thank you, Luz.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Thank you, Luz. And for our listeners, you knew this was coming. We have free pairs of tickets for Theater by the Blind's performance of Sit on Sunday night, February 23rd.
Now that we want to call attention to this because we normally don't do a ticket giveaway a full month in advance. So this is not a misstatement. We're talking about Sunday night, February 23rd, but we'll be off the air between now and then. And so we're doing this early.
All right. Sunday night, February 23rd at 7 at the Promenade Playhouse in Santa Monica at 1404 3rd Street on the 3rd Street Promenade. We will leave a pair of tickets for you at the box office, and we'll call to remind you as the date gets close. To get those tickets, give us a call right now at 818-985-5735. Again, that's 818-985-5735, and Abity Moreno will let you know if you can leave, or rather we can leave a pair of tickets for you at the box office. Again, for Theater by the Blind's performance of Sit on Sunday night, February 23rd at 7, 818-985-5735.
And if you miss out this afternoon, you can buy your own tickets at cryoutreach.org. That's CREOUTREACH.org. SIT runs February the 21st through March the 9th. Luz Madrigal, we hope you continue to see a whole kaleidoscope of wonderful perspectives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now, was it good for you in your virgin voice? How was it for you?
I loved it so much.
Your voice is beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have you light a cigarette in the lobby just
All right, let's do it.
that it was good for you. All right. That's it for Feminist Magazine this afternoon.